Yeah, dude. They're not Uruk-hai.
Oh my god.
Uruk-hai were the ones that were... Whatever. We'll talk about it in a second.
Why does it stop? Why is it stopping? This stupid... Why am I choosing this one? Ah! I've never done this internet thing before.
So it was specifically... never mind. Go ahead. Sorry. Okay. Introduce your show. And then I will go off.
Welcome to Evilive, the live media commentary show that answers the question, will Celebrimbor ever bitch slap Anatar? Subscribe to the channel. Needs to. He definitely... I thought he was going to. He like pushed him. I was like, here it come. Here it come.
I was so ready for it.
Subscribing to the channel because today we're reviewing The Lord of the Rings of Power, Season 2, Episode 6. Where is he? This is a weird name for one weird little reference. Because everyone seems to know where he is.
Yeah. Didn't make fucking sense at all.
Initial thoughts. What do you...
Two things, Adam.
Yes, Cameron.
So one, the orcs, before we got on, we were discussing the orc family. Here's the thing. They are beings.
They're corrupted elves, right?
They're not the Uruk-hai, which the Uruk-hai were specifically like created.
Right,
they were essentially planted in the ground and arose for a specific reason.
Like Sauron, right?
Yeah. These are just regular ass orcs, man.
But orcs themselves, aren't they corrupted elves?
Well, I mean, yeah.
Like as a race?
Basically, they're just down the line from the dark elves. So you have the elves, and then you have the branch that split from the elves, which were the dark elves. And then that mutation essentially ran its course and created orcs.
Oh.
So they are their own being. They were once elves in a sense.
Right.
It's just through breeding and all that stuff, they became a different entity essentially.
Huh. Okay.
But the thing that I cannot believe I didn't throw a fit about with the last episode, which makes sense with this episode because he's in it, supposedly. Tom Bombadil.
Oh, yeah. We didn't even address that.
That was the first fucking thing I text you.
Yeah.
When I finally watched this was, what the fuck? Like, that is a character that belongs on no screen whatsoever. Because if anybody's read The Hobbit, they understand, Lord of the Rings.
Right.
They know who Tom Bombadil is. Now, you get a general idea of who he is, but you have a good enough idea of who the fuck Tom Bombadil is. This is not him. This is like they saw paintings in the older books of a character, and they're like, yeah, fuck it. Let's go and throw him in there as a little tee-hee-hee to everybody.
Yeah. Tom
Bombadil, he is not.
So, can you clarify specifically what Tom Bombadil is? Because they're presenting him as like this ancient being with ultimate knowledge about how to even help Istars.
Yes.
Which are like celestial beings.
Yes. So those are like the high angels. Those are just one level under the creator, like actual God.
So I'm talking about the Seeker for people watching. He's clearly Gandalf, but for some reason they're like holding.
Yeah, I don't understand why they're still beating around the bush. It's like we knew it from the fucking
is it Saruman? Is it Gandalf?
Even though we saw Saruman.
Like,
but, yeah,
well, we had that mad guy. That's not like they're presenting him as someone different than Saruman. Like he has like a name, so he's clearly not like Saruman, like Christopher. Even though the character, like when I watched him, I was like, oh well. Dude's dead. They can't have him play Saruman anymore, so clearly they got another actor. But I think it's actually supposed to be a different person.
No. Don't stick your finger up my ass and tell me it's a banana. I know the difference. I have a very sensitive butthole.
Like banana.
Exactly. So, anyways, Tom Bombadil. There's theories about him because we don't actually fully know who he is.
Defined?
No, because Tom Bombadil, he very could be Iravata, who is God.
Really?
Or, yes, absolutely. Or he could be a different being from a different realm of existence, like a god from a different realm of existence. So, okay, the best way I can describe it is if you have an idea, like a decent understanding of like the Stephen King universe. with like the outsiders. So Pennywise, the outsider from the outsiders, and creatures like that are almost eldritch horror type beings from a different reality who somehow exist in ours. Mm-hmm. That's kind of Tom Bombadil, but he's a cool guy. Like he's a good guy. He loves he came here God knows when, and he just stayed because he's like, fuck dude, this is cool shit. Like he fucking married a river. Like his wife is a river because he's just like, this is fucking dope. I love the trees. I love the grass. I love the animals. I'm gonna fuck that river. Like, and he doesn't just walk anywhere. He fucking dances everywhere.
I'm gonna fuck that
and he
river.
Doesn't talk. He sings and recites poetry.
Right.
Like he is on paper, like it works perfect. Like this sounds ridiculous, and it is. I understand that. But in the books, like reading him, he's just dope as shit. And you're like, this guy's fucking awesome. Why wasn't he in the movies? This is why he wasn't in the movies.
Yeah.
Because you can't do that and keep a straight face. So
really quick. Hey, Mr. Blue Sky, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in, man. Yeah, I mean, for this, like, we were first introduced to him with his back turned to us, and I actually thought it was a girl because I feel like they were trying to give that impression when the stranger was creeping up on her, and then it turned out to be this bearded man, and then it sort of like twisted out into this weird character that seemed all powerful and or all knowing at least, but also obscure and like the stranger was trying to figure out magic, and so he's like very much the Obi-Wan Kenobi of the Luke Skywalker on Tatooine for the stranger, except that he seems so much more than that. And it's never explained anywhere else. Like I've never been able to figure out what the fuck he is. And I'm one of those people that likes answers, even if it's not given in the show, at least have some like some fictional, like, I don't know, repository database where it explains what the fuck this character is. And
hold that thought.
Doesn't exist.
You keep talking. I'm going to show you.
Okay. So, like, when I first saw him, I was like, I'm totally okay with him. I don't mind androgynous beings because the longer you live as an entity, you're not a sexual creature. You're just an androgynous being. So I don't mind him, like, sort of singing and having this female voice and then a male voice and having a beard and long hair and doing his weird thing. Be weird. I don't give a fuck. But I just don't understand.
So there is an excellent source for sort of an explanation of who and what Tom Bombadil is. Surprisingly, it's actually really easy to find pretty much anywhere. I believe you even have a copy in your own home. It's called The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien.
But I thought it didn't explain what he was.
He leaves a bit of it to your imagination because that's how... It's funny because some of the greatest characters that he ever wrote, you have to decide what they are.
The fuck is that?
But it works. Because the thing is, it's almost like he doesn't even know what the character actually is. Because it's like, who in the fucking what is he? He just comes out of nowhere. He could, like, if he wanted to make it super quick, it would just be, oh, okay, here, Tom, why don't you take the ring? And he'd just go singing and dancing past fucking the tower up to Mount Doom and then do a little jump and click his heels together, flick the ring in, and then the world's saved. Like, that's the power that Tom Bombadil has, but he doesn't use it because he's almost like an observing god.
Weird.
Yeah, he's fucking dope.
I'm not sure how I feel about that. It kind of reminds me of Astinus of Palanthas character in the Dragonlance sort of lore, where he's just a watcher. He doesn't actually take part in anything. Except with Bombadil, it seems like he does actually like give good, solid advice, and he can actually guide you, at least in the way they're presenting him in this show. He's clearly guiding Gandalf to be Gandalf.
Well, and he's also... the protector of the hobbits when they're first off on their journey.
So
and pointing him in the
are the
direction to go.
Harfoots actually a thing, or is that made up just for the show?
Harfoots are a thing.
Okay.
Harfoots are the predecessors to the hobbits. Like,
The
essentially the
Cro-Magnon
hobbits only became the hobbits once they had settlements. So with this episode, when we get the Harfoots going to that village, that's actually like ultimately the first settlement of what would eventually become hobbits.
Stewards.
Yes. That was a really stupid fucking name, but yeah, was that in this episode?
Yeah, this and the last one. I actually had a hard time with it in the first episode, like last episode, but this episode, I didn't mind it. I was like, all right, these are the people who originated the Harfoots, which would originate the hobbits. I don't care. I'm here for it. And especially when she described the life cycle that she's experienced thus far. And it's very human. I mean, all of this, ultimately, it's wrapped in fantasy, but it's all human experience. And so I really appreciate that aspect of it. And when we can break through the sort of political, nationalistic sort of shit that this story is trying to tell, and we can get to the character level stuff, that's where I think this stuff shines. Like in the first season, when we got to see Galadriel with her brother and we got to get a little bit of motivation there, I thought it was great. Now we see her without that sort of intimate connection, and I don't give a fuck about her. We get to see Durin struggling with the personification of his father and the twisting that his father is going through, and I'm here for it. I love that human difficulty and challenge and seeing someone change. And it's almost like he's witnessing his father as a drug addict, and he's like trying to pull him back from this brink. And like, I understand that pain. That's a human experience. We get to see the Harfoots in the stores trying to eke out an existence in a world that they really should not live in. Like, especially in this region, they are just waiting to be killed. Like, and yet they're still having these little tiny moments of humanity. Like when that Stewart kissed that girl with the Hartfoot. Fuck. I can't remember her name. Anyway, when they kissed,
I don't remember her name
I was
either.
just like, oh shit, love. Like I am a sucker for human experience. And that's the strength of this show, not the Tolkien lore, which is ironic because it's called Rings of Power.
Yeah.
So I don't even know really where to go from there. I mean, like the Bombadil Strangers sort of stuff, I think they're trying to do this high-minded, I don't even know, like a magic trick or something. They're like, hey, look over here, but really it's clearly Gandalf. Yeah, we can see your fucking puppet hand with Gandalf on it. You're not fooling.
We knew that from the first moment that he landed on the fucking planet.
Yeah.
In that crater.
The Harfoots to what will eventually be the Hobbits. Yeah, we saw that coming. Clearly from the first episode. I don't know why you're adding in the stores here for it, though. If you're going to give us human interaction, then I'm okay. I'm here for it. And then, the wizard from the west that is definitely not, but kind of is Saruman. Clearly he came here first. And there's only a handful of wizards out there, right?
There's like four.
Four? Who's the fourth? There's Radagast, Sauron.
I don't remember
Gandalf,
who the blue is. Sorry, let me.
Big Bird. Watch it be Grimace. It's just like, or the Hamburglar.
Right.
Like, I make hamburgers and then I steal them from myself. In any case, like this does not, to your rationalization to watch it, this is just fantasy, this isn't Tolkien. This does not feel Tolkien to me. This feels like a generic fantasy, which is weird because I haven't read the source material, so I don't even know technically what would be considered Tolkien except for the films and the cartoons. So for me to feel like that, it just, I can totally understand why people who do know the lore would be infuriated.
I was wrong. Apparently there are 5 wizards.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So 2 that were direct from the Maya. Not finding names. So it was basically a lot of it was in the Unfinished Tales, stuff like that. But yeah, apparently there's 5 wizards.
5 of them, and are they all descended like from the Valar as well? Or
Essentially, they are.
aren't they higher than the Valar because they're
No,
Istar?
no.
Okay.
Let's. God damn it.
So this brings me, because I don't know this lore, and so it brings up so many questions, and I can only imagine everyone else watching this that's not like a lore hound is having the same questions. When they say that test of the Valar in Numenor, and they have Elendil, who is supposed to go in the water, but it's Mirier who ends up going in the water, and she faces that sea creature that's supposed to be the Valar. Is that a Valar?
No.
Like, what was that? Is that
No,
any
that's just
at all?
That's just a sea creature. That's my understanding of that. It was just essentially like we're going to throw this witch in the water, and if God wants her to live, she will sink and drown an honorable Christian death. Like essentially, that's what it was. Nope, Tom Bombadil's not a fucking wizard, Christopher. He's not a wizard. Like I said, Tom Bombadil, from the best of my understanding, he is a god of a different existence that just so happened to be here and enjoyed it. He is not a wizard. He is above the wizards.
He loves a good falafel.
He fucking loves falafel.
Who doesn't?
And fucking rivers.
But literally.
But literally, yeah.
Fucking rivers.
Put a ring on it and butt fucked her. Can confirm. That's canon.
I have spilled my seed in water before, but I am no Tom Bombadil.
Yeah, you just all you gotta do is just sing about it a little bit and dance away, and everybody's just like, "Oh, okay."
That's okay. Just fucking rhyme a little bit. That again. Does this mean that the necromancer from What We Do in the Shadows is Tom Bombadil?
Could be. Could be. You know what? Not gonna say
He's
no.
He's just scatting his way through life.
Yeah, it's like that's the thing. He discovered 1920s jazz and was like, "Ooh,
this is amazing.
Oh, this is way better.
I got to do this for magic."
Yeah, this is it. This is absolutely it.
He's like, goes forward in time. Ella Fitzgerald's the best. I'm gonna copy this. Yes, thank you.
I believe it. I could see it.
I mean, that was J.R.R. Tolkien's era, so I'm sure he was influenced by jazz. He had to have been influenced by jazz and the fucking music of the era. That was huge in his day. Post World War I, like that was huge. I bet he was.
Could be. I mean, he influenced a lot of fucking music, like even directly influencing Led Zeppelin to make terrible songs.
Yeah. Oh, how dare you!
I'm sorry, but if you are going to pronounce a fucking known word incorrectly when the creator of said word told you to fucking make this song, fuck you, Robert Plant. Fuck you.
Wow. Shocking.
I have feelings
as someone
about
who
it.
Notoriously mispronounces words in fantasy settings, I take umbrage to that. I get people fucking.
Well, here's the thing: you have a little bit of leeway because you don't have Tolkien saying, "Oh, it'd be cool, man. You should totally make a song about this and throw in a reference to Mordor." And then, oh yeah, okay, I'm Robert Plant.
I love that.
This is something words Mordor. I said a Tolkien thing. Like fuck. I hate Led Zeppelin.
I can't believe this.
Just that song. Sorry. Let me rephrase that. I hate that song. I love the band.
Okay. I still don't accept this. We need to have further conversations in other contexts. All right, so let's get to Saruman in this one because that's really what this episode is about. We get a little bit of Numenor at the end with, is douchebag Nick Douchleton the actual king, or is Muriel the fucking blind idiot who doesn't know where to fucking look? When you're, I hate humans who can see playing blind people who cannot because it reminds me of that show with fucking, oh god damn it. It was the fucking Willy Wonka actor who I love desperately. I can't think of his name. And fucking the amazing comedian. It was the like blind and deaf, and it was hilarious. And I can't.
Gene Wilder.
Yeah, Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor in.
Let's see. See no evil, hear no evil.
That is amazing. It's not that good, but it's still great.
It's better than this.
It's great because of the two amazing actors who I clearly blanked. But that's what it reminds me of. She's just like,
yeah.
really,
the
when
thing
you
is,
see blind people, it's always like fucking crazy eyes. It's always like insanity happening. There's no just like, I'm staring at a camera, Mark. Talk to me, and we are here. No,
Right.
there's fucking nutso shit going on.
And it's like, turn your head for fuck's sake. Like, yeah, you can't see, but you can possibly hear better going like this if you're facing somebody.
Yeah,
that's how your hearing works.
Fucking angle your goddamn ear. No, yeah, stuff like it. She bugs the shit out of me as an actress. I don't know why. I think she's a beautiful woman, but acting drives me nuts. And so the idea of her taking over the position, I actually really like, because as a leader, she is going to take the position of, look, if someone is going to be telling me that I should be queen or not, I'm going to put my neck on the line. And I appreciated that. And the scene of her in the water with that sea creature was so Lovecraftian. How could you not appreciate it? And they actually shot the exterior of that before she went in the water in a real location. It was all practical. It was an actual ocean they had to wait for in order to get the shot. So stuff like that I really appreciate. But fuck all the goddamn actors and fuck the whole contrived situation. Because, like, what? Now the dude's not king? Is everyone so...
The thing is, like, I like to think that near immortality would bring intelligence. Especially because, like, the idea of the Numenorians is they were an elevated race. It's literally a 2 or 3 day period between the moment where fucking Wizard McDouchey Eyebrows guy takes over, and then this happens, and then you know, they're like, yeah, eyebrows. Oh my god, she came out of the water. Blind check. Yeah. Like, come on, fuckers, make up your mind.
Are so fucking wishy-washy. It's unbelievable.
It's like, pick a lane and stay in it, for fuck's sake.
And there was a moment where Adar was like talking to Celebrimbor and convincing him to make the 9 rings, and Celebrimbor was like, I will not, I cannot. And then Adar's like, more farts, I did a bad job. And Celebrimbor was like, let me save it. I will make it better.
It's like, I will not make this. Men are dumb.
Yeah.
Okay, then I guess I'll make them.
And then immediately...
Well, you suck. I better do it because you don't know what you're doing.
It immediately cuts to Eyebrows McDoucherton, and I'm like, whoa. Are they saying that that's the Witch King of Angmor? Like, are they trying to tell us that he is going to get a ring, and he is going to be one of the fucking wraiths, and he is going to be a super bad guy? Because I cannot handle that world.
Will not.
That will ruin Lord of the Rings for me.
Will not take that.
It'll ruin it. If that guy becomes a ring wraith, I will write a sternly worded letter, and I will not mail it because there's no one to mail it to.
You just fucking mail it to Amazon. Here's what you do.
How dare
you order something, and then when it shows up, clearly you weren't going to keep it. You staple that note to it, and then you take it to your local Kohl's to return it. And then when it goes back to Amazon, they'll get that sternly written note and be like, we fucked up.
They will be wounded. They will suffer my painful words. I'll lose my shit, like, for real. Like, I can't handle him being a super bad guy. I can't handle him being a character, let alone the ring wraith, the fuck Angmor. Like, fuck. Like, I do feel like this series is setting up that we're going to see the humans that take these rings, like, probably in the 3rd season.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be until the next season, definitely.
Yeah, no. But we will see it. And then that'll probably be like a climactic moment of the 3rd season, and the 4th season will be him forging the 1 ring, and then that'll be it. But, like, I just don't want him. He doesn't earn it. He sucks. He's not evil and scary and powerful and manipulative. He's just a douche. And I can't have a douche be the fucking Witch King. I just can't.
Yeah, agreed.
I'll lose my shit. All right. What else happened in this? So we got a lot of really great stuff with Durin and Durin Sr. and Durin Sr. using the ring to force Durin Jr. like on his ass. which I was just like, oh shit. Like, is he so twisted? I loved that moment where he was like, take the ring off. Like, if you tell me that you're, this is you acting and not the ring, prove it to me and take the ring off. And he's like, as every drug addict ever has said, oh, I can stop whenever I want to. I just don't want to stop right now.
Right. And prior to that, he's throwing a fucking fit because he took it off and can't find it.
Yeah.
Even though it's exactly where he set it on the fucking desk.
It's so good. It's so good.
And then the dynamic between, DJ and his wife, where she's like, did you talk to him? Oh, I tried. What is that around your neck? I tried to talk to him, but he put this on me.
He made me Prince again.
Did this.
He did this to me.
And then just like how quickly the corruption is kicking in with him, because of course, in the previous episode we get the representatives of the other dwarven kingdoms, and he's like, yeah, you guys don't get the rings. I want the actual fucking kings here, and if you guys want to have these rings, I get half a cut of your shit.
Yeah.
And then with this, we get the whole king tax on cells now. Like everything's doubled in price because he's charging everybody double essentially. So it's fun to see the fall of Durin.
Is there any irony in the fact that he is doing what every big corporation did in COVID, hike up prices because they could, knowing that people would pay them in order to get goods, and this is being produced by the very company that also hiked up those fucking prices?
That the irony is definitely not lost on me.
Buried in,
at all.
Dug entrenched fucking bitter meta irony happening here.
Yeah.
I just, every time we go to the dwarves, like part of me absolutely loves it, and there's another part of me that's just like, why are we doing that part of it though? Mm-hmm. Like when we got to the point where she summons Minox, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's like the whole fact that, there's a random stone that you can buy at a market that intensifies your powers as a singer.
Yeah.
Like, come on. That's stupid. But whatever. I guess I'll buy it. It's for their kid. It's a birthday. Whatever. But yeah. Oh no! I dropped the stone. Waka waka waka. I gotta go find it.
Gosh, that whole sequence of her running after and being kicked and her like bumping into people. You kicked it.
Oh my god, that was a fucking cartoon.
So ridiculous.
And not even a good cartoon.
Yeah. No.
And then she gets to one random spot that is just barely off the market, and it's this abandoned big old spooky cave, and like, I can't find this bright purple fucking rock that's right in front of me. I better see. And then Minox, and then there it is. Well, I'm gonna go get it. And then it shatters.
Every time I see her sing, first of all, it was really great when she like was standing in the way of the miners that were told to go do the expanded mining. And she like starts singing. They're like, "Are we supposed to be afraid? What the fuck are you doing? Like, this is just weird. You're not Celine Dion. Like, what the fuck are you doing?" Because that would make me run personally. I don't know about you guys.
I don't think I'd run. I'd just be like, nope. I'm gonna
slowly back away.
You do you. I'm gonna not be here for that.
Keep eye contact and just slowly move away. So fucked up. I thought it was it was very Indiana Jones, Shauna. Very exactly right. It was like Short Round the very opening of fucking Temple of Doom with the fucking jewels and her going chasing it and all the fucking people kicking it and shit.
Yeah.
Silly ridiculousness. And I was not okay with it. And then her like literally doing that final sing and then all the bats coming down that looked like Minox chasing the dudes. And I was just like, I think I want to watch Empire Strikes Back. I think I would enjoy that more right now.
Yeah.
Did you think of bats, or did you think am I the only one?
No. I straight up went to Minox as well.
It looked exactly the same.
Yeah, it definitely was not bat shaped. That was a fucking Minox. I don't
see the Millennium Falcon anywhere. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Are they living in a space worm? Like, is that what Moria is?
I mean, could be.
The Balrog's just a hemorrhoid. An internal hemorrhoid. Went too deep.
Yeah, it's the Space Worm's hemorrhoid after Taco Tuesday, where he got the good salsa.
flares. It inflames it. It's just aggressive at this point.
Every fart is a whip crack from the flaming whip. Yeah.
That would be a great robot chicken, by the way.
100%.
It would be amazing. But I mean, I know we're sort of making fun of like aspects of it and stuff. This episode, after I finished watching, I was just like, all right, I actually feel better about this series. Mm-hmm. Like this episode and the one right before it and the Barrow Whites specifically right before that, I do feel like it's sort of turning a corner where it's not going to be good, but it's going to be tolerable.
Yeah, I definitely got that with the interaction between Galadriel and Adar, like after her capture and shit.
Yeah.
That shit was cool. That was like that's what I want in a fantasy show. Just that whole interaction of like, look, we're warring factions, but we have a common enemy. We both need the same thing. Let's work together to do it. And it's the quote unquote bad guy that's coming to the quote unquote good guy to say that.
It's like every Saturday morning cartoon. Like
100%.
The enemy of my enemy, we have to work together, G.I. Joe.
Yeah. It is 100% that. It's goofy as fuck, but it works. And that's the thing. Like Adar is probably about the only character in this show that I actually truly 100% like. Like I believe him.
Oh yeah.
I every aspect of him. Like he's just trying to save his fucking people.
Is he actually in any of the source material?
Not that I remember. No.
I think that's hilarious that a show about Tolkien lore that you love Tolkien lore, you don't love the show. The one part of the show you do like is the guy that's in the show that's not in the lore.
Well, I'm trying. Yeah, no, he was specifically created for Rings of Power. He is a non-canonical character.
I think that's wild.
And that is fucking hilarious to me. Yeah, no, you know what? The funny thing is, I never thought of that ever. Well, because I mean, that's the thing. Like his whole thing was he was the uprising of the essentially the slaves of the Balrogs. Which, oh god, you know, I don't even want to get into that because that's an hour discussion right there of how Sauron's not right.
I'm curious now. Is that in the Silmarillion? Because I'd read that. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, the Silmarillion, it does talk about the Balrogs and the underlings and all that shit.
So the Balrogs, they're celestial beings too, right?
Yeah. Okay. So you got Iluvatar, who's God.
Right.
You got the Maya, who's the top angels. The Vala, and then like right there, that's what Melkor is.
Okay.
And then underneath Melkor, like on this branch of things where the family tree splits, like Melkor created the Balrogs, which there's actually a different leader of the Balrogs versus Sauron, because Sauron was originally just a Balrog, but he started to gain power and stuff, and essentially
he took supplements.
Went from being right here with everybody else to right here, and then essentially started ruling them, like got rid of the leader and all that stuff.
Tate blah, blah, blah. Of Balrogs.
I quit. I'm not fucking doing the show anymore. But yeah, so yeah, it's just so funny. Yeah, I never thought about the fact that the only character I like in this isn't even actually in real
I think it's hilarious.
lore.
But it matches up with you sort of rationalizing this isn't Tolkien.
Yeah, so that's exactly it, and it makes so much fucking sense. The shit that is not actually Tolkien, I'm like, all right, you know, that's cool. I can get behind this. Yeah. Everything else is like, no, you're doing it wrong. But like, I don't want to be.
Oh man.
I don't want to be that fanboy that can't appreciate stuff. Just like with our Star Wars channel, we try. We try so hard to like things. Like we don't go into it with just like, how rumph, this is gonna be stupid and I'm not gonna like it. Yeah. No, we generally want to like it, and we do all the mental gymnastics that we can to like it, and then it just shits the bed. At least this is cleaning up after itself. So I'll give it that. It's at least like taking the sheets and throwing it in the washer for us, so we don't have to.
Right. At least wash the shit and cum stains out before I lay it on my body, please.
Yeah.
Did you have what was the least favorite moment of this episode? We didn't do that in the last one. We'll do it in this
one.
one.
We didn't. I don't know. Like, I believe the portrayal of Celebrimbor. I
Right.
do.
Yeah, I too.
But I
Yeah,
also
100%.
don't like it.
Do you not like it because it feels real, or do you not like it because it feels contrived?
Contrived. Like it's the idea is
I mean, it's the premise of the whole series.
Yeah. It's just I don't know how to explain why I don't like it. It just doesn't. It almost feels like a separate part of this story. Like they're trying to tie it in with everything else that's going on, and it doesn't fit, but they're really forcing it.
Wild.
I just don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
But I believe him, but I don't like it.
Yeah.
Is basically the short of the long.
It's the one part that actually makes me want to keep watching this show, because I feel like that slow corruption is something that like a devil or a Lucifer or a Satan would do, which I'm kind of a fan of. And so like I'll watch it for the bad guy aspect of it. And that's the part I like. And especially when we got to see that really great scene where Anatar is walking out into the courtyard where he'd already twisted Celebrimbor's vision of seeing everyone as happy and joyous.
I fucking loved that.
Yeah, and then it twists to the reality of war, and him just sort of smiling, and then at the very end he lifts his arms in full view of Anatar's or Adar's army, and almost as if he's the conductor of the entire thing, which he is, because he's fucking Sauron.
Yeah, he literally is. Yeah,
like it's just. I thought that was the greatest ending, and which is like I just turned a point in my viewing, like, okay, maybe, they're taking liberties, but maybe they're trying to make a cinematic experience out of it. And all of that really clicked for me in this last episode.
Yeah, I dug that. I don't know. I guess if I had to distill it to one point in specifically this episode of Celebrimbor, it's almost the vision of madness. That fits, but it doesn't fit, but it fits. That was my issue with it. But yeah, like that moment, because I was confused. I'm like, wait, the fucking orcs are right out there. Why is it all bright and sunny and shit? And then, the camera shifts around him and it's like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing here. This is fucking cool. I'm on board now.
Yeah. It's like, James, the one who did the Conjuring films.
James Wan.
It's something he would do. I feel like
I can see
great
that.
Sort of. He doesn't like sinister and stuff like that. Like these little camera twists where it changes perspective and completely changes the environment. It's a very sort of horror film trope you don't really see in fantasy very often. And so to see it in this, I was like, cool, that's fun. Like it was obvious, but fun.
Yeah, of course.
My least favorite was definitely the singing. Not for the singing part, which I think is dumb anyway, but the Minox. I was just like, what the fuck is happening? I get they're supposed to be like Khazad-dûm bats, I guess, but those are Minox.
Yeah, exactly.
That was weird.
I'd blocked those out until I was looking at the show notes. I was like, oh yeah,
dude,
there were Minox.
I was just like trying to talk to Shauna because I couldn't remember the word for Minoc. I was like, what the fuck were those? Like they were like eating energy fucking from the Millennium Falcon. And she's just like, who the fuck did I marry? Are you speaking English?
Yeah.
I understand anything
your poor wife, man.
At
least I do my wife a solid and I wait until she's in bed and then I get baked out of my gourd and watch this shit.
Yeah. Well, you're a better husband than I am. Maybe someday. Someday I'll be good too. What about did you have a most favorite or a favorite moment of this?
Yeah, like I said, I really loved the whole Adar Galadriel thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I still don't like Galadriel. I think she's terrible. But again, like that's the shit that I want to see in this. Like that whole joining forces to do some shit. Like I love that. Especially because he is not an overt bad guy. Like, yes, he does bad things. But again, there's a reason.
Yeah, he's not doing it for world domination.
No, he just wants to live.
A place to exist.
Yeah, they just want to go back home.
Which is totally understandable and relatable. Yeah, I totally agree. He's a great character.
Yeah, so definitely that. That was my favorite part, and especially when he pulls out the fucking crown.
Every time I see that fucking crown,
so
I don't know why. I'm just like in. I'm like zoned in, like laser point. And he was like, "This is Morgoth's crown." I was like, "Oh, Sean, do you know who Morgoth is?" Like having a whole card. Like, do you realize what this means?
Yeah.
Like to hold a god's, to you as a mortal being, a god's fucking helmet or a crown, a god's crown in your hands. Like, this is a legacy that I am a part of. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, even for an elf who lives forever in best cases, you're like, you need to like be humbled in the presence of this artifact. This is like a timeless artifact of a fucking god. So cool.
Well, and I try to rationalize it too, because of course there is like the douchebag fanboy part of me that's like, that's not the size it is. I just keep trying to tell myself, it's like, no, it's just like the one ring. As soon as it fell off of Sauron's hand, it shrunk to the owner's, or to the next holder's size. Because Morgoth's crown, like, Morgoth was taller than most of the mountains in Middle Earth.
Oh shit!
Like,
what?
Morgoth was like a straight up fucking Lovecraftian being.
He was Cthulhu.
Yeah, pretty fucking much. So it's like that crown that would have essentially been a cage for the entire encampment.
This is his cock ring.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's like his little pinky toe ring. But yeah, man, I fucking love the look of that. It's so cool.
I love the way, the gravity, the mass of it when it hits it. Like, you can see him like sort of when he lifts it and then puts it down. You just doof.
Yeah.
Just like, oh yeah.
Yeah, man, that shit is so dope. So dope.
That's the sound I wish happened when I put my penis on a table.
Right.
Instead, you don't really hear anything. You're just like, what's happening? My penis is out. Where?
Oh, is it? Can I see it?
Right here. You don't see that? Wait, what? Where? It's right here. Yeah, that's my life. All right. So, anything else?
Nope. I think we've had enough penis talk.
Oh, what about Tom Bombadil and the sticks? Penis talk. Nothing.
I really just
This is a Luke Skywalker moment they wrote that didn't exist anywhere else.
Yeah.
They were just like, hey, let's have us a Yoda Luke Skywalker moment.
That's all I thought the whole fucking time. I have to go
save my friends.
That was, that was Luke and Empire in Dagobah, but not as good. Not even remotely as good.
It just pissed me off because it's such a known trope that it's not lazy writing, it's plagiarism.
Yeah. Yeah, like, 100%.
Come on. What are you doing?
It's like the only thing that he was missing. Well, no, actually, no, he was cooking. Yeah, no, that was just the Dagobah scene in Empire.
Like, what the fuck is going on?
I wonder if next episode he's going to finally get his staff and he's going to go into a cave and be told, you don't need to take that with you. You should leave that here. And then he extra grabs it and walks in and then cuts off, Sauron's head. And then Sauron's face explodes and it's really his face. Yeah, I think that's going to be the next episode.
So I'm not sure about the second half of that, but I guarantee I could definitely see the first half of that 100%. Which is terrifying because, come on. What are you doing? You were before Star Wars. You shouldn't be fucking stealing Star Wars.
I mean, if it worked, you might as well steal from the best.
All right. That's true. I've never seen a hashtag of spousal abuse before. That's a new one for me. I'm not a hashtag person in general, but that's new. Huh. I wonder what kind of people are going to find us because of that. Thanks, Chris. Chris.
I guess we'll find out.
You get a whole new fan base of just like shitty dudes and like shitty lesbians just fucking their spouses up. Great. Thanks for that legacy.
Whatever. I mean, views are views, right?
I guess. Hey, what's the difference between 1 and 2, really? All right. Well, that's all I got. Anything else?
No.
Thank you all so much for tuning in. Like it or not, evil spelled backwards is live, not spouse abuse. So don't hit your spouse and be evil anyway.
Yes. Definitely don't hit your spouse.
Yeah.
Unless it was called for.
Well, if they deserved it.
Yeah. Like, don't burn the fucking toast. How many times do I have to say, don't burn the fucking toast?